Well, on the working conditions in the classroom, leads into student behavior and workload issues, the status of in the community. Those are all social factors that really are there, but uh, in dealing with them, a lot of the people in education have not been supportive of teachers. And that, again, comes from the idea that there's a lot of media, a lot of press that goes against teachers. And it's not hard for the students to pick up on that. They automatically will hone in on the ideas that teachers are something to disrespect. And so a lot of times, media has played against the educational field. It has undermined the authority. It's much like when one parent says no, and the kid goes to the other parent, and that parent will say, well, what the other parent say, and then back and forth, and basically you wind up undermining a whole process of who has any kind of input and say into what students should be learning. Um, Now, on student behaviors, I found that generally speaking, respect leads to respect. There should be a mutual respect. And one of the things that I've always thought that was important is that I'm there to learn from my students as much as they are to learn from me. Um, yes, when I was a kindergarten teacher, I did know a little bit more than the kindergartners, but it was amazing what you can pick up from a kindergartner as far as even the level of humor and what would be funny to a kindergartner can be funny with an adult as well. And so a lot of it should be a mutual process. I think I've always felt that it's like riding a bus. Everybody's going to have to be there all together at the same time, and nobody's going to be able to get there ahead of anybody else. So again, one of the things that I've always emphasized is not only just have the students respect me, but I respect the students. Now, not that always doesn't play out uh, as easily as you can, but you have to understand that a lot of students come with a lot of baggage, a lot of problems, and we have to understand that. That's one of the biggest failings of standardized education is that the kids aren't standardized, and so they come in with sometimes even things that they know that are beyond, but we will have to repress it because, well, that's not being tested this year. We have to keep that on low key. That's out of the scope of what we're teaching, so that gets diminished. We have to understand that all students have something to contribute, and all students want to learn. I haven't found a student that doesn't want to learn. The fact that they don't want to learn exactly what I want them to learn might be the issue, but all I have to do is connect it more to what they think is important. So again, one of the things is to motivate students is you have to understand them. You have to be able to be there for them and to really understand that they're a whole person, not just a student. So one of the things is understanding people, and yes, we have to go even that extra step. Sometimes students need that extra measure of empathy, if not love. So my understanding on motivation is simple, um, in that we're all human beings and humans deserve a certain level of respect. Um, Now, I've always had a cooperative type of learning management in where students can share information and they can talk. Now, there was one time where I got in trouble, or the principal came in and yelled at my kids because they were making too much noise. But I had a collaborative classroom and it would get noisy. And unfortunately, a lot of educators don't understand that kids are just by their very nature noisy. If you get 20 kids talking, or even half of those talking to the other half, it can get pretty noisy. And so you have to have a high tolerance for what might not seem like an orderly process, but it's certainly a learning environment.